So yeah, we've been at the summit for about 12 years. Our kids, we have 4 kids, and they were tiny whenever we started. So they were 10 to 3, and now they're 22 to 15. So it's been like our home for the last 12 years.
Since 2000, I've been self-employed. Prior to that, I worked construction with other contractors, but so I've been in business for 22 years, residential construction.
We've talked a lot at Summit recently about Serve projects and the Serve app and things like that. And from what I understand, that's kind of how the project here at your house kind of came to life. So why don't you guys describe what was going on, kind of the need, and then, how that came to be.
So we bought our house 12 years ago, and Brian has dreaded the roof project. We knew it needed a roof then, and anytime I brought it up, he would say, "I'm not doing it. You don't understand. It's like opening a can of worms. We should just sell the house now, as is."
It wasn't just a roofing project, it was rebuilding the structure. Like, it's an old metal roof over top of wood rafters and nothing underneath it. So I knew once we ripped the metal off, the overhangs would fall off, and it was just going to be a nightmare. So a friend from church, Albert, felt my burden and said, "Hey, I got a couple guys together. We're going to come and help you Saturday. We'll do your roof." And I'm like, "Oh, that's such a blessing." I didn't know what to say, but then the Saturday when all these trucks started rolling in, I bet you there was 20 people that pulled into my house.
That's cool.
I was just so overwhelmed. I just began to weep and I could not believe it.
That's exciting for me to hear personally, just because I know how much you guys have contributed to our church over the years and just been a part. So when you're seeing all these guys, and did you know all of them, or were there some of them that were strangers? Or
yeah.
So you probably got to know some people that day even.
Yeah, that was the blessing part of it. I've seen the faces at church, but never knew their names. I didn't know who they were or what they did, and so it turned out to be a day of fellowship and bonding, and we got to share our testimonies and struggles, and it was just turned out to be a wonderful day. And at the end of the day, when everybody was leaving, they thanked me. I was like, "What? No, you got it backwards."
The women of their small group actually told me not to worry about doing anything that day because I had planned on doing a meal, and so they just showed up with all of this food, and I was, "What do I do?" It was so overwhelming. The entire day was just so overwhelming. The weather was perfect. It had been raining, and we couldn't have asked for a better day. I know for me, we've always been on the serving end, just because that's our first 10 years were in a home mission church, and that's just what you did.
Everybody served.
Everybody served, yeah. It wasn't just a small amount. And so coming here and having people want to help with something that seemed so difficult and impossible to us blew us away, and it really humbled us.
I look out the window when I get up in the morning, and I'm just like, I cannot believe this is done, and it's lifting a huge burden off my shoulders. I knew I probably couldn't have done it myself like I used to, so to have all that help is just words cannot express.
That's right.
So I know for years you guys served at the church in different capacities. If you don't mind, tell us a little bit about how you've served and things you've been a part of at Summit over the years.
Yeah, I served in the toddler room, and I also was involved in the women's ministry. So I was in charge of the hospitality with that, and I am currently serving on the prayer team.
And Brian, people may not recognize you, but you're on the platform quite a bit because of the worship team. How long have you been helping with worship here at Summit?
Since day one. That's the gift God gave me, and I'm going to use it to try to bless others.
Yeah, I know when I first came to Summit, you literally were on the worship team every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Every weekend.
Todd wouldn't let me off.
He wouldn't let you get away. But even before we had Todd, you were in the rotation for actually leading worship.
Right.
And I appreciate how gifted you are at what you do. And I appreciate you using those gifts for God's kingdom. It really does mean a lot. With all that said, I'm crying. You're not going to cry because you're a robot. But But I'm grateful for you guys. I'm grateful for your family. And I know you guys have had lots of ups and downs, just like every family does, with work stuff and kids and family and all kinds of stuff. And I appreciate how you guys have served our congregation and just been faithful. And this is not a big gift, but we want to do something for you guys. So we've got a check to help offset some of the cost of the materials you had to buy for the roof, and it's not going to cover all of it, but it's a check for $2,500, and we just want to say we love you.
You're trying to get me to cry, aren't you?
Well,
You're close.
but you guys have spent a lot of time pouring out and blessing others and helping and serving, even when it was hard and inconvenient. And this is just a small way for us to say thank you. And just simply to let you know we love you. And we're grateful, and we see the times you've poured out and see the times you've been blessing to others. And we're so glad that we were able to bless you guys and help with the roof, and that, some people stepped up and said, we want to be a part. And so we just want to be part of that as well and say we love you. We appreciate all you guys have done.
Wow. We love you too in the church. You just don't know what to say. We are so blessed. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, we love you guys very much. And we're excited for your house. We're excited for your family.
Mm.